Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is going to be 4 of the main fears of a narcissistic person. And we can all carry our fears, however the reason behind a narcissistic person's fears are often very different to the reasons behind a genuine person's fears, and their reactions to these fears are often very different. So when it comes to a narcissistic person, you don't particularly want to make their fears a reality for them because they lack empathy, so they will go all out to seek to punish you. However, with their fears, they will use those fears against you. They will plant those fears within you, those insecurities within you, because they know how fearful they are of them to one aspect. So if they can plant those within you, they can use them against you to condition you so that they can control you. And one of a narcissist's biggest fears is when they're laughed at, when they are humiliated, when they are shamed. Narcissistic people go all out to sell people an illusion of who they can be based on who that person would like them to be, usually, and they spend time putting on that false facade to get their needs met by other people. And when people see through this, when people see their behaviour, when people see their lies, when people see what they've done to another person, they often feel that moment of shame because they're feeling that perceived judgment from those around them. And not many people like judgment, especially when we haven't done anything. However, with a narcissist, when they've done something and they're feeling that judgment, yet they feel entitled to have done what they did, they simply pass the blame over to somebody else so that people judge the other person, and therefore the narcissist can remove any feelings of shame. Humiliation. Narcissistic people exaggerate who they are as a person. They make stuff up to gain that admiration from those around them. So when people call them out on this, they don't like it. It causes that narcissistic injury, it causes that shame, and then they seek to punish the person who's called them out. Being laughed at. Narcissistic people, they are happy to create the jokes, usually at somebody else's expense, usually to humiliate you, to get people laughing at you. So you're an event and the narcissist has got everyone mocking you, or the narcissist has mocked you and got everyone laughing at you, and you just want the ground to swallow you whole. You just want to go home. And this is their projection in one sense. If they can get people laughing at you, then people won't be laughing at them. People are laughing with them. They like people laughing with them. They do not like people laughing at them. Narcissistic people also fear abandonment and rejection. Not many people like being abandoned. Not many people like being rejected. It's a learning curve, it's an experience. Most people go away and question themselves and think about what they could have done better and think about how they can develop as a person. Most people take that mindset of you're not rejected, you're redirected, and start figuring out a new path, a new way to achieve something. Narcissistic people take rejection as you have rejected their false self that they've spent so long putting together, and they take offense to this to the point where they seek to punish you, they seek to hurt you, they seek to take you down. Now, when you've been discarded by a narcissistic person after being sold lie after lie after lie, it's naturally going to build feelings of resentment and anger and bitterness, and you can go through a phase of wanting revenge. However, it's not usually revenge you're after, it's justice, to see the wrong being righted. And narcissistic people don't see how their behaviour led them to being rejected. They don't see how their behaviour left them to being abandoned. They blame the other person. Whereas a genuine person often questions themselves as, well, what did I do wrong for them to leave? What did I do wrong to not get that job? What do I need to work on? What do I need to improve? So a genuine person continually tries to improve themselves and question themselves. Narcissistic people continue to blame, shame, criticize, mock, judge, and tear everybody else down to feel better about themselves. I didn't get the job because they sucked up to the boss. It's not because I need to improve my skills. It's not because that person was better than me. It's because that person was willing to do underhand things that I wouldn't do, even though it's exactly what a narcissistic person would do. However, they're just looking for the easy route. Another thing that a narcissistic person hates is being ignored. We can all hate being ignored. We can all hate indifference. We can all hate it when people just, especially those who claim to care about us, just don't seem to care about us. When those we go to try and communicate with fall silent on us and refuse to communicate with us. They walk off humming and singing away to themselves. It causes that rise of emotions of anger and frustration. It hurts when people refuse to communicate with you. So narcissistic people will do this to you because they know how much it hurts within themselves, because they fear, they seek that excessive attention. So they fear people not giving them that attention. However, when you've had enough of their games, what you recognize is that going no contact, not reacting to them, not explaining, not defending, because they use those explanations against you, is the only way to manage yourself around a narcissistic person. And then you can often question, well, am I being the narcissistic one because I've cut them off, because I've done this? You're not doing it to punish them, to hurt them. You're doing it because you've recognized you've tried so many things and so many times to make things work with them, and they just carry on taking from you, hurting you. Every time you forgive them, they use that against you to hurt you again. The more you forgive a narcissist, the worse their behaviour gets. And it gets you to a point where you recognise this and there's no other way out than cutting contact with them. Narcissistic people fear being ignored, which is simply why they will go all out to ignore you. And then when you return the favour, they will accuse you of being the ignorant one, the bitter one, the one who's going all out to try and punish them, because that's what they do. They're bitter, they're angry, they want to punish you. Now, it might have come from a place of anger where you made a decision that you're just no longer going to deal with that person. The emotions can come from a similar place. However, their intentions are to punish you. You might start off with the intentions to punish them if you're in that place of wanting revenge. However, that kickstarts you into creating a new life without them. Exposure and being called out on their behaviour. We can have all done things. It's part and parcel of life, and it's a bit of a learning curve, and we can be told that something's not wise, but we just have to go and try it for ourselves first. We might not like being called out. We might have an idea or a belief on something that we are holding firm on, and we might speak about it, and someone might come up with a different idea, and in that moment we recognise that, ooh, we might actually be wrong there. And it can hurt. With a narcissistic person, it's more, they are exploitative people, they are deceptive people, so they will go all out to do things that are immoral. They will be disrespectful. However, they don't want to be exposed for this, they don't want to be called out for this, because they don't want the judgment of those around them. Therefore, they will go all out to shift the blame. Genuine people take responsibility. Narcissistic people do not take responsibility for their behaviour. They shift the blame so that they can shame somebody else, so that they can get everyone judging somebody else, so that they don't have to face the consequences for their actions. There are plenty of things that narcissistic people fear that we can also fear. It's the reasons behind those fears, and it's the intentions afterwards that differ greatly. Any fears you noticed within a narcissist, please do add those into the comments, as what you want to avoid is being alone with a narcissist and provoking one of their fears, because there is no telling how low they will go to get you back. And as they lack empathy, you want to avoid this at all costs for your safety. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Liz Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot get no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.